You know, I had this very strange idea the other day, and it's not really an idea. It come from a Chinese word, a Chinese character, which it's the character for um, beauty, right? You have this character called Mei, and I was asking my friends, okay, this is a very strange character, and I like it a lot because it's very symmetrical and it has this. And they said, no, no, it's not one character; it's two characters. What do you mean? He said, like, well, there's the top character is um, a goat, a sheep. It's a young, and the lower part is a da, which means big. So basically, beauty means a big goat, a big sheep. And I'm thinking, like, wow, really? Why would a big sheep be the symbol for beauty? In the beginning, I thought, yeah, maybe because it's tasty, maybe because I don't know, the sheep is very expensive or something like that. But then I was thinking, like, wait a second, a horse is more beautiful. Why would it not be a big ma, like a dama? Or like, why wouldn't it be something like more expensive? Like, you know, if you think about it, Neuro and Yangro, or whatever is, I mean, it's more expensive. Neuro is more expensive than Yangro, so it's more tasty if you like. So it's kind of like strange. Why is it that the young is so important that it's being put into the context of a symbol that represents beauty? And then it occurred to me, I thought, wait a second. It's the young is very important also in my culture, in Greek culture. Young, which we can call either a sheep or a goat, right? But I would use the word goat, and I'll tell you why. So in Greek, the word goat is tragos. Tragos is the male goat, okay? But tragos is a very important word in Greek culture. Why? Because it is the component, the basic component of the word tragedy. You know, tragedy means the song of the goat. In other words, the goat is singing, and that means it's a tragedy. Now that's very strange, because why would the goat who sings becomes a tragedy? I mean, tragedy is a very important word in Greek culture, because tragedy is this thing that happens to you without your being responsible for something. Like it's something bad that happened to you, even though you were not responsible for that. And that's why it's tragic, right? Like somebody dying is not tragic, but somebody who dies that doesn't deserve to die is tragic, right? So tragedy involves this sort of irony, this between what you want to be and what happens to you, what you deserve to happen and what really happens to you. And that is a very, very kind of like very deep philosophical argument that the Greeks have, and it represents their own life, right? It's a tragic to be. The life is a tragic event. Everything is tragic in the Greek culture, right? Everything is, let's say, juxtaposing good and bad at the same time, or something happens to you without you knowing that it's going to happen to you. And that is very important. Now, in Chinese, we have the yang also, the big yang, the big sheep, if you like. But again, I don't think it's a sheep. I think it's a goat. I mean, it means Shan Yang is the mountain sheep. But if you look at the symbol, I mean, again, has a pictogram. It has two things on the top, right? Looks like horns, and there's like three lines, and then there's a little like a beard. And that looks like more like to me, I mean, and visually, it looks more like a goat, right? Because sheep don't have horns and they don't have a beard. So if we assume, let's say we assume that it's a goat, then we have a problem here, because two cultures that don't know each other use the goat as a symbol in the one culture of beauty, very important for the Chinese people, one of the most important things, because they're all about beauty. Everything is about making things that are beautiful, or whatever, searching for the perfect beauty, either that is physical beauty or mental beauty, right? You know, what is the understanding of beautiful thing? Harmony, for example, is part of beauty. And Chinese are very, very interesting from all throughout their culture about beauty. A very important work which uses the goat And Greeks, on the other hand, another very important culture, which is very, very interested in, and that shaped the world civilization, using their tragedy, if you like, as a background for the philosophical arguments of everything that they did, using again a goat. Why? Why the goat? What is it that the goat has that both of these cultures are so fascinated with to assign to them beauty and tragedy at the same time? Why?